Happy New Year, everyone, and with the new year you get a new top 10 list of the top 10 games that I played this year. And as usually, this list contains old games because old games are subjectively better than new games because they're cheaper. I mean, most of the time. If we talk about 1-year-old games, straight up better because they're half the price, so they only have to live up to half the potential. And they'll run better too because they're not so new, I guess. So here we go. This is my... I don't think I have a single current game on here, so... Well, anyways, here we go. Yono and the Celestial Elephant. You'll notice that I did videos on most of these videos, and the ones I haven't, I'll probably make videos on later. So you can watch my video about them if you want, but in short, Yono is... Well, he's just the cutest little elephant ever, and he has to go on an adventure to... Well, we don't actually know. I guess he's fairly peaceful most of the time, and... I mean, I guess there's some enemies that try to kill you, but on average, there's a great majority of friendly NPCs rather than hostile ones. And I guess it's more about solving puzzles, and the combat isn't that great, but it's so cute, and I really enjoyed playing it and seeing the story unfold, and it was just a cute little thing to do, and it was great. Relatively short as well, and relatively cheap, I hope. I don't remember. Definitely worth your time. That was number 11, Yono and the Celestial Elephants. Yeah, I guess it's not exactly 10 games, it's 11, but, you know, I mean, these... I wouldn't want to leave out Yono. Then, number 10, Astroneer. Perpetually stuck in early access, and still it's somehow really enjoyable. Whenever it's not ridiculously buggy. It's a game where you... Well, I guess basically it's just the game that has the coolest terrain engine of all time. Because, well, I guess it's kind of voxel based, but then not really. I guess it's based on voxels, but then it's rendered in a non-voxel way, and then I guess, I mean, you can collide with the low poly terrain. You don't collide with any non-existent voxels. So essentially, it's just a really cool solution of how you can transform terrain. And then what you do is you dig down and you find minerals, and then you build stuff that allows you to explore more parts of these foreign planets and all kinds of cool stuff. You should check it out. I mean, it's cheap, and well, you see what you get. I mean, it doesn't have any action or any finished story, or will it even have story? I'm not confident. And it's multiplayer. That's cool. But it's a game I keep coming back to because I like, I guess, the peaceful nature of it. Well, don't worry, they're not all this peaceful. The next one's pretty brutal, I guess. Number 9, Far Cry Primal. Well, I mean, I like playing Far Cry games, even though I don't like them. Well, they don't really get better, you know. It's tragic, they just don't get better. 1 and 2 were just flawless masterpieces, and then I guess it's all downhill from there. I guess 3 was still good, but it already showed the beginnings of this disgusting Ubisoft disease where you... Oh god, there's just so much wrong with it. Well, maybe not that much, but the main issue with Far Cry is that it has these disgusting, heavy enemies that look just like regular enemies, but they have 10 times the health bar. And it's a game where you usually one-shot the basic enemies, the basic humanoid enemies, and then the heavies, they don't look any different. It's so goddamn annoying. It really sucks. And in Far Cry 1 that made sense because they were actually giant mutants, but in this one, why are they just regular humans? I don't get it. And that really pisses me off, and that's the main reason why I didn't put Far Cry 5 on here, because I played Far Cry 5 and I got pissed off at that. But in this one at least you have giant elephants and stuff. It's not quite as simple as just, oh, the big guy's gonna be really a pain in the ass, even though it also has that problem with the big guys. But on average, I found it fairly enjoyable. I thought not having guns would be weird, but it was actually good. And now, going back to Far Cry 5, I don't actually enjoy the gunplay as much as I enjoyed the bow and arrow play in the other one. Which is ironic, because in in Blood Dragon. I hated the bow and arrow. Weird, huh? There we go, Far Cry Primal. Alright, number 8, XCOM 2. Yeah, it's good. You fight aliens, you get their technology, and you fight them some more. But it's turn-based, and it's pretty good. Except for the fact that you don't know where the aliens are, and you start out not knowing where they are, and then you also have to go fast. But if you go fast, you get spotted by the aliens, and you'll have used up all your action points. I hate when you have what are they called, turn-based games, and you don't know where the enemies are in the first turn. I just hate that. What a waste of time. Why do you skip to that part, but not to the part where I already know where the enemies are? I mean, you've skipped the way there. I didn't have to press and turn a million times to get there. But then we start the battle, and I don't know where the enemies are. I mean, at least like the first few enemies should always be visible at the start of the level. Like 2 or 3 maybe. I mean, there could still be many more, but there should never be a time where you don't know where the enemies are. Because it's not a game where it's engaging to search for the enemies, because it's turn-based. So if you end up going too fast, then the enemies will have more turns than you to kill you. And it just feels shit, that. But XCOM was still a good game, and you should check it out, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I guess I should stop saying that. You can make up your own mind. This is just my top 10 list. Top 11. Alright. Number 7, Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. Have you ever played this old game called Commandos? Well, you'd be lucky if you hadn't, because it really sucks. But this game is basically like a non-shit remake of Commandos. And I'm sure there's like a crazy amount of niche people that really like Commandos, but get over yourself. Commandos isn't a good game. Commandos has like the worst controls ever. It has like 10 different it has like, I think it has a shortcut for every button in the alphabet. It's ridiculous. And God, it's just so stupid. There's like one guy who can knock out the enemies, but then he can't tie up the enemies. How is knocking them out easier than tying them up? And you have to knock him out with the one guy, and you have to tie him up with the other guy. And why can't you just kill them while they're down? That guy's too stupid to knock him out, to kill him, and to what did I say? Oh, tie him up. It really sucks. But Shogun has none of those problems, and it has a completely different theme, which is the Japanese Shogun age, I guess. And, well, I'm not a weeb and I don't care about that, but it's good, I guess. It's colorful and nice, and everything is intuitive to a point. And, well, I mean, I think there's safe scumming, but that's just unavoidable in a Commandos-themed game. I guess someone should make some kind of roguelike Commandos game, and then you could get rid of the safe scumming. But I guess it wouldn't be as hard as... Well, I mean, I don't know. Does anyone play Commandos without safe scumming or Shadow Tactics even? I don't know. Seems like that would just take too long. But maybe if I just got really good at it. Well, there wasn't enough content to play it so often that I would get good at it. So I guess I'll see. Maybe I'll play it again another time. Who knows? It has a really good story though, considering that you don't actually see anything close up. You only see everything from top down. Yeah, good stuff. I really like that game. It's been too long that I don't actually remember the downsides, but I'm sure there's some things that are annoying. Like, for example, mouse clicks, it doesn't always get them right. Like, sometimes a leaf of a tree will be in the way, but it shouldn't be because it's a leaf of a tree. And then, yeah, mouse click doesn't count, but whatever. It rarely happens. It's just, I don't know, I guess they should really... I don't know, I guess they're relatively new to making games, but... I can't wait to see what next they make, because this one was really good. No noise. Number 6, Battlerite. Last year I had League of Legends, or was it the year before? And I guess I'm glad to say I stopped playing League of Legends almost entirely, and now I play Battlerite every once in a while. And, well, I guess they're very different games, but I don't know, I guess it's still a MOBA. Is it? Actually, I'm not sure. But the thing is that Battlerite has no grinding, and it's all just battle, except for, I guess, the time where you wait before the battle, which is weirdly long, but whatever, I guess. And yeah, Battlerite's cool. I mean, there's a bunch of different champions, you pick them and then you're stuck with them for the whole game, but the game only lasts like 10 minutes, so it's not too bad. And, oh yeah, there was Battlerite Royale, and that one sucked, and don't play that one, just play the regular Battlerite, that one's good, I guess. Maybe I'll have to come back to Royale, but I can't imagine it being good. They changed too much, they should have kept it like the original Battlerite. So yeah, I really like just... Oh, and they have... I mean, I guess they got melee champs, range champs, and healing champs. And ironically, the healing ones can be either ranged or melee, but it doesn't actually list them, but whatever. Now, why would I mention that? Anyways, the thing is that the healing champions don't actually heal you up all the way. So if you've taken wounds, and they'll only heal you for like 20% of your max health. And that's cool, because, I mean, otherwise they'd be OP as hell. But luckily they're not overpowered, they're awesome. Actually, I really like Sirius. I think he may be overpowered, but don't tell anyone, because, I don't know, I guess... Wait, do people know he's overpowered? I'm not sure, actually. Well, hope they don't. He's my favorite. I like that he's a melee guy, but also can heal. He can just jump in and then... Yeah, I like that he can play really aggressive, and he doesn't look it, he's just like this naked Indian guy. Whereas there's other healing guys that are melee that have like a big shield and everything, and they're no better at defending themselves. I mean, he doesn't have a shielding wave. Oh wait, no he does, he can like disappear if he gets hit, it's pretty good. So yeah, Battlerite, it's pretty interesting. They keep adding more champions and stuff, which is good. I mean, I usually play it for a while and then I get bored, and then later on I'll play it again for a while. It's not highly addictive, but I guess that's good, because I wasted way too much time in League of Legends, and this one, I don't know, I guess because it doesn't have the grinding, it doesn't really have any way to be addictive. It's just like all about that fight, I guess. But then once you're done, you're just stuck waiting another two minutes for the next game to start. Annoyingly. Oh well. I guess that's good though, because that way I don't play too much. Sometimes I even work in between waiting. Okay, I've been talking about that one for a while. Okay, number 5, Darksiders III. Yeah, Darksiders 3. So I wanted to go back and play the other Darksiders, but they were really terrible. They're just such bad ports. They don't even have my full resolution, which really sucks, I think. I'm not sure, maybe 2 has, but 1 has like really bad resolution. Which is too bad, because it looks really good still, but I guess it also has a really bad frame rate, at least when I'm recording. So Darksiders 3 seems to be my favorite Darksiders so far, just because it runs halfway decent, which you really can't say of the other ones. And it's way more balanced than 2. 2 had like really bullshit stuff where items could make you really OP, or alternatively would just really be really bad if you didn't have those items. It like had items that could have potentially like 20% lifesteal, so you would never die. And it's good they took stuff like that out. RPG mechanics really shouldn't belong into Darksiders, so I'm glad they got rid of all that. You should watch my Darksiders review. I really liked the game. Alright, number 4, XMorph Defense. This one's really fun. The usual games are like 1 to 2 hours, and they're really engaging. You're just this hostile alien that has landed in the city, and he has to fend off all the human defenders, ironically. And, well, it's just... I guess it's just strategically really interesting. I mean, I guess you just really... I And I guess the meta is gonna be mostly the same, but I haven't discovered the ultimate meta yet, so that's cool. I guess in the end I end up building very few of those laser anti-air towers and just build lots of those missile anti-air towers, because whenever they bring in those waves of 3 helicopters, then the lasers they all focus the same helicopter, and then they have to wind up to deal the maximum damage again, and they'll never deal the maximum damage. But if you have the missile anti-air towers, they'll have the same range as the lasers, but they deal the damage instantly, because they're designed for smaller enemies, but they're also faster, I guess, so they don't have to build up damage. Yeah, I just find them really good, and that seems my meta now. And I guess lasers, and I mean having the railgun and the laser against the tanks, those are good. Yeah, that game's really worthwhile. I didn't expect there to be this much depth, but there is. It's really interesting. Alright, number 3, Dishonored II. Well, I've been waiting for another Dishonored game, and it's really good. And, well, I guess it doesn't live up to quite the potential of the first one. It's still almost there. And that's a lot better than you can say for the other things, like Assassin's Creed, oh god, so bad. And Far Cry, god, so much worse than the first 2 games. And Dishonored 2 is still really good. I mean, it's a little bit less brutal than the first one, but it's... yeah, it's really good. I'll make a review of Dishonored 2 eventually. I already recorded it, but then I was too lazy to edit it. So now I don't know if I have to re-record it. Hard to tell. Anyways, get hyped for my Dishonored review, if it ever comes out. Number 2, Lords of the Fallen. Well, it's like Dark Souls, but it hasn't got mustard all over it. It hasn't been remastered because it didn't need to. It was a good port to begin with, unlike Dark Souls. And yeah, that's good. Lords of the Fallen, good Dark Souls clone that surpassed the Dark Souls. Can't wait to see what they come up with next. I mean, I saw it was The Surge. That was good. Hope they make another one. Alright, number 1. Railway Empire. Well, how nerdy of me. I just like to be autistic and play with my trains, okay? I could just sink hours into making ever slightly more efficient train systems. It's just really fun. And I'm gonna make a lot of videos about how to play Railway Empire, because surprisingly it's not a game that's intuitive to play, to pick up. You don't know how to do it right away. They're getting better with things they've added, but it's still really you wouldn't expect it to work the way it does. I mean, I don't know, maybe I just didn't consider it the right way. I mean, you just don't consider what really goes into a railway, because they can't switch from one track to the other magically, so you have to build crazy constructions that, I mean, crazy knots of tracks that go into and over each other to accommodate all the ways the trains want to go. And then, I mean, they don't want to go, oh, you know what I mean. And then once one train track gets too busy, you have to build another alternative train track that goes the same way, but is slightly different, so that the trains split up evenly. It's really cool. I just really enjoy playing it. Well, I guess that applies to the whole list, but there you go, Railway Empire. I think I spent the most playtime out of all games on that game, because I don't know, it's just so crazy. Unfortunately, the building tools aren't great, and there are a lot of flaws in the game. Like, for example, you don't have a double track building option, which really sucks, which means you have to build a single track, and then you have... and then you can build another track, and the second track snaps to the first track, and that makes a double track, which is good, except for the fact that it doesn't really... It would be better if there was a double track option right away, because there's some options where that just won't allow you to snap it properly, and you have to break it down in parts and rebuild it. It's really annoying. It would be so good if they just had a double track option right away. And a small warehouse. I don't know why there's a big warehouse but not a small warehouse. I don't know, is there like a DLC where that is unlocked? I don't know, it really is annoying though. And the warehouses were just called warehouse to begin with, but now they're called big warehouse, so where the hell's the small warehouse? I don't know. I want it. It would be so useful. Alright, check out the games, check out my other videos if you want to know more about those games. Goodbye everyone, and Happy New Year.